Performing to expectations, the Biden administration is pushing along as many vectors as possible to expand the burden of the federal government in our lives. This week, not only has Jungle Joe sent the first $1 billion of a promised $11 billion to save the Amazon rainforest, which the last time I looked was not in the U.S., and even if it were, the showering of federal money to save lands is not sanctioned by the U.S. Constitution. Well, Joe also expanded his already enormous and improperly named college debt forgiveness scheme, a scheme that actually shifts that debt onto us. Hi everyone, I'm Gardner Goldsmith for MRC-TV. Oh, and by the way, what you might find even more insulting about this, Biden's shift of college debt onto us this time is solely for the benefit of public workers, i.e. people who already draw their income from the tax trough we have to fill. ABC News reports, quote, President Joe Biden's administration announced on Friday another $4.28 billion in student loan relief for nearly 55,000 public service workers. The announcement brings the total loan forgiveness by the Biden administration to approximately $180 billion for nearly 5 million Americans, according to a fact sheet from the Department of Education. The forgiveness will be delivered to individuals enrolled in the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program, PSLF, which allows for debt forgiveness for people in jobs like firefighting, nursing, and teaching after 10 years of continuous payment, end quote. So, of course, one can see that this public service loan forgiveness program already exists, and this is an expansion of it. Quote, of the nearly 5 million borrowers who have had more than $180 billion in debt relieved by the administration, more than 1 million were through the PSLF. The relief for those PSLF borrowers totals about $78 billion, the administration said, end quote. And ABC added, quote, the Biden administration has made fixes to this program that had failed to deliver student loan relief to many due to poor implementations and errors in the program, officials said. The public servants approved for debt cancellation today include teachers, nurses, service members, law enforcement officials, and other public service workers who have dedicated their lives to giving back to their communities and who are finally earning the relief they are entitled to under the law, Biden said in a statement, end quote. Heartwarming, isn't it? The spirit of giving lives on with Biden, except he's giving your money to the so-called public servants to pay off college loans that they willingly took to pay for their educations. So now they can be doubly parasitic, working for government as so-called public servants and getting you to pay their college debt. Just who exactly is the servant here? And this comes, of course, atop previous unconstitutional Biden moves to shift college debt onto others, including his previous expansion of that aforementioned PSLF, which he served up along with a glowing history of the PSLF grant in one of his previous press releases about it. Then there is the April 2024 Biden mobilization to work around a 2023 Supreme Court decision that ordered him to stop using the HEROES Act, which allows military members legally to not pay their creditors or landlords when those military are called into action, and which presents its own immense constitutional problems. In that deft move, Biden's puppet control squad proposed new rules under the Higher Education Act of 1965. So Biden has begun shifting onto us the loans of borrowers whose interest debt has grown so much they owed more than they borrowed, and has shifted onto us the debt of those who had been in repayment, as they say, for 20 to 25 years. And there is the 2023 SAVE program, which lowered interest rates for the borrowers who got undergraduate educations despite what they already agreed to pay. SAVE has cost us nearly $1.2 billion, forcing on us the promised payments of nearly 153,000 borrowers. And there's the so-called IDR, or Income-Driven Relief Program, that has as its roots the Obama-era series of college loan shifts that they also love to call forgiveness. Under Biden, the IDR fraud has pushed onto us nearly $46 billion in debt that had been taken on by more than 930,000 borrowers. And the hand-wringing we saw throughout, the crocodile tears of the political elite who tell us proles that we have to shoulder the burdens that others willingly adopted, came, as I noted earlier, atop previous Obama administration college debt shifts, such as the 2012 Pay-As-You-Earn PAYE scheme, which, after expansion in 2014, capped the monthly payments of borrowers at 10% of their discretionary income, with any remaining balance forgiven after 20 years of payments for undergraduate loans, or 25 years for graduate loans, or 10 years for those in public service through the, you got it, Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program, the PSLF. How nice of them. Or perhaps some of the students whose debt we now pay, and which future generations of taxpayers will pay, because of course the U.S. is breeding generations of debt slaves. Yes, perhaps some of them, those students, might learn the fundamentals involved here. Those pertain to simple facts and principles. On the constitutional level, these students might ask where in the vaunted U.S. Constitution the feds find the enumerated power to handle college loans, let alone forgive them by shifting the costs onto us. And on the deeper level, perhaps they might ask how anyone can claim the moral authority to tell anyone else to pay for something at all. That moral principle seems to be lost on Americans today, buried under layer upon layer, year upon year of cynical political sediment, the blasted ashes of ethics, and the torching of natural rights. Until more people acknowledge the sovereignty of their neighbors and allow for equal preservation of one's rights, this favoritism and fascism will just grow, and the politicians will hand themselves roses for looking so sweet and kind. Oh, and by the way, we'll have to pay for the roses as well. Thanks for being educated with me and learning a few things as we look at this new move by Biden. Merry Christmas, huh, Joe? And please visit us at MRCTV.org. That's MRCTV.org, where you can find out what the whole team is doing. Find us on Rumble, where our videos are not censored. Thank you, Rumble. Please follow us there and share the videos far and wide. You can find us still on YouTube, where yes, they engage in censorship. You can also find us inside Facebook, on TikTok, on Instagram, and on X. And if you want to find me on Gab, I'm at Gardner Goldsmith on Gab, and on X, I'm at Gard Goldsmith. Thanks for watching, everyone, and please share the videos. For MRC TV, I'm Gardner Goldsmith.